Since its founding in 2010, Instagram has taken the world of social media by storm, both as an incredibly popular image-sharing site, but also as one particularly relevant in popular culture. Even if you don't use Instagram yourself, you felt its effect, whether it's through the celebrities the site has helped create or the jokes and references the site has spawned. From viral pets to expensive posts, you're watching Top Trending, and today we're counting down 20 facts about Instagram that you may not have known. To start off the list, we go back to the very start of Instagram, almost 8 years ago. You know Instagram has been around for a while, but do you know about some of the first content ever posted on there? It really does seem like the founding members of social sites like animals, because the first photo published on Instagram was of an adorable puppy. The photo of the pooch has received over 80,000 likes, but the poster, Instagram CEO and co-founder Kevin Systrom, says that he regrets posting it as the first photo, and that he wishes he had started the platform with a photo where he had tried a little harder. Systrom says the photo was taken at a taco stand in Mexico, where the dog just happened to be, giving him the opportunity to snap the now famous photo. It also uses a filter which is still on Instagram today, which just goes to show you how much of a long and yet persistent history the platform has. At number 19, we're going to delve way back into Instagram's rich history. Selfies today are as much a part of life on Instagram and the internet at large as pictures of dogs or food. The term selfie itself is actually surprisingly quite old, and was first known to be said in 2002 on an online forum. But the first photo to actually be tagged as a selfie on Instagram wasn't posted until nearly half a year after the platform's founding. That's right, in January of 2011, Jennifer Lee of San Francisco, California became the first person on the entire platform to tag a photo as being a hashtag selfie. Even though the photo only has a little over 1,000 likes, it will forever go down in Instagram and even internet history as a milestone for what would become one of Instagram's most useful purposes: sharing pictures of yourself. While we're on the topic of selfies, number 18, Kim Kardashian has one of the largest and most powerful accounts on all of Instagram, at a whopping 115 million followers and counting. And with great power, of course, usually comes a great amount of wealth, a fact which Kim probably knew for sure when she took a very large sum of money from the drug company Duchenne to promote a morning sickness drug through a simple selfie holding the bottle, which she posted to her 42 million strong following back in 2015. Because it was technically an illegal advertisement for a pharmaceutical product according to FDA regulations, the FDA ordered Mrs. Kardashian to delete the ad selfie, and made her issue a very long second post soon afterward, where she warned of potential dangers associated with using the drug. At number 17, speaking of millions of users and lots of money, do you know how many people use Instagram? Certainly everyone you know, but when Facebook bought Instagram back in early 2012, 40 million people were using the platform, and the company was worth $1 billion. Today, some 500 million people use Instagram, which is now worth $35 billion and counting. As older networks like Facebook and Twitter continue to age, Instagram's audience continues to grow. In late 2015, their owner Facebook only grew by a tiny 1.9%, but Instagram grew by a massive 17.7%. That's an awful lot of food photos. Number 16. Now that we mention all those users, it's a good time to ask, do you ever feel like you post too much on Instagram? No need to worry, you're not alone in this regard. The 500 million people who use Instagram daily have managed to post a grand total of 40 billion pictures in the history of the platform. Not much of a poster? You're still contributing. The like button on photos is hit 4.2 billion times on average daily. But for those who do post, the numbers will only continue to rise. 95 million posts were made per day in 2017, and that number only continues to increase in the double digits every year. It looks like you're not the only addict. But at number 15, we have some bad news for American viewers. You're probably the most addicted of all. Though everyone in the world overuses Instagram, a survey found that among Americans, nearly 60% of users check Instagram nearly daily, with a large part of that percentage using it multiple times in a day. Maybe it's an exaggeration to say that some people are attached to their phones, but Americans seem to blow everyone else out of the water when it comes to excessive use. Maybe it's time to give looking at dog photos and taking selfies a short break? Number 14. It's time for a bit of a break from telling you that you're using Instagram too much. Maybe you are, but that doesn't mean it can't have a positive message. A study by an English statistics firm found that in the United States, just about everyone seems to use Instagram. Not literally, of course, but no one seems to be left out. The study tracked the percentage of people by income group who use Instagram regularly, and found that the numbers are very close to each other across groups, with both minimum wage workers and six-figure workers using Instagram at a nearly equal rate. On the internet, sometimes it doesn't matter how much money you have. It's all about the content. Number 13. You would think that with all their power and money, Instagram would require tons of employees to keep such an utterly massive network together. But when it was founded, only 2 guys, its founders, were working on the project. And by the time several years later when Facebook bought the company in early 2012, when the company was worth over $1 billion, still only 13 people were employed to keep the growing platform running. Today, Instagram as a company employs nearly 500 workers and counting, which just proves how far the company has gone since its founding. Number 12. The Kardashians have managed to make their way onto this list yet again, proving that they could possibly be the kings and queens of Instagram. This time the focus is on Kendall Jenner, who has nearly 95 million followers. An amazing number for sure, but still 20 million behind her half-sister Kim. In spite of this gap, Kendall's Instagram page still manages to be powerful as ever, and as profitable as ever. How so? It's estimated that every single one of her posts is worth between $125,000 and $300,000. That means just 4 posts could potentially be worth more than $1 million. Let that be a lesson for the next time someone tells you your online presence will never matter. But at number 11, we see the more tricky side of money on Instagram. When you sign up for Instagram, you agree to a set of conditions, like you would on any other website during account registration. Some of the terms and conditions are unreadable legal mumbo-jumbo that would never matter to anyone except for lawyers. But nestled in the terms is an agreement where the parent company of Instagram, Facebook, is allowed to sell anything you post on Instagram to third-party companies. For those of you who only ever post selfies or photos of your food, this agreement will likely never cause you much trouble. But for artists and photographers, this agreement can make content production on social media a painful experience. And with this set of terms, Facebook is also permitted to sell your location data, log files, and device information to third-party companies, all without having to tell you that they have done so. Continuing in this trend at number 10, we see that not everyone making money off of other people on Instagram is involved with Facebook. In fact, one such person is just another artist on the platform, known by many for his provocative artwork. That would be Richard Prince of New York City, who has created prints of multiple celebrities' Instagram posts blown up to the size of a canvas. Seem odd, confusing, or even just creepy to you? Well, clearly not everyone feels the same. The artworks have reportedly sold for around $100,000 per piece. Art will always find a way to leave you scratching your head. Number 9. Not everybody is on Instagram for the influence, the money, or even the likes. In fact, a few people are on it for God? Yes, none other than the world's most prominent religious head, Pope Francis, joined the platform with the handle Franciscus in early 2016, with a simple image of him deep in prayer. The impact was immediate, with the Pope managing to blast past 1 million followers in less than 12 hours, which so far is by far the quickest anyone has managed to reach such a major milestone. Francis met with Instagram CEO Kevin Systrom just a month earlier to discuss how he might spread the gospel through images. Seems like it worked. For those of us who do love the likes though, number 8. Have you ever posted what you thought was a great picture but it only wound up getting an embarrassingly low amount of likes, forcing you to delete it? Fear no more. In analyzing how corporate accounts might better time their posts, the best times to post on Instagram based on when the most people would be using it have been estimated. On Sunday and Wednesday, 5 p.m. is the best time, but from there things get weird. You're going to want to post at 7 and 10 p.m. on Mondays, 3 a.m. and 10 a.m. on Tuesdays, 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. on Thursdays, 1 a.m. and 8 p.m. on Fridays, and 12 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturdays. Sure, it seems complicated, but when you're out for exposure, that's just the kind of thing you'd find yourself memorizing after long enough. Number 7. Speaking of engagement with posts, did you know Instagram continues to manage to destroy Facebook and Twitter in the game? On average, 2% of the people who see your posts on Instagram will engage with them, which seems low to most of us, but it's still significantly better than Facebook, where only 0.5% of the people who see your posts will engage with them. The situation is even worse on Twitter, with an engagement rate of just 0.15%. That means Instagram has a massive 308% higher engagement rate than Facebook, and an astonishing 1,313% higher engagement rate than Twitter. So don't fret if you're not getting likes on Instagram. It could be much worse. Number 6. Remember how we mentioned how many followers the Kardashians seem to have? Well, don't get too jealous just yet. Not all of them are human. No, they're not aliens or dogs. They're spam bots. A group of cybersecurity researchers did a sweeping study in 2015 and found that a whopping 24 million accounts are almost definitely spam bots, and the number is likely even higher now. Celebrities and influencers will commonly buy spam followers, who can be identified by nonsensical posting or following habits, to make their account appear more influential than it really is. Whenever Instagram attempts to ban a large amount of these spam accounts, celebrities like Justin Bieber will lose millions of followers at a time. Still, even if you don't buy these bots, they might just follow you anyway. Many are programmed to follow simply based on who's posting in certain hashtags. Number 5. One feature that's very common across almost every social media and tech platform is geotagging, the ability to tell people where you are whenever you decide to post. On Instagram, the feature is a fun way to show your friends all the places you've decided to visit, be they on vacation or simply a trip to the Starbucks down the street. But where, you might wonder, gets the most geotags? In terms of location, New York City is king, by far having the most geotags of any city in the world. But what about attractions and specific locations? New York City is almost king. Times Square is beaten out for the most geotagged location on Earth by Disneyland in Anaheim, California. The New York-California rivalry is strong wherever it comes up, and Instagram is certainly no exception to this fact. Number 4. As you've probably noticed, New York City gets all of the fun when it comes to Instagram a lot of the time, because not only do they dominate in Instagram geotagging, but also liquor delivery. In 2013, a business known as Frosties launched selling sweet and colorful alcoholic slushies. With a twist, it existed solely on Instagram, where users in the New York area would text their address after being confirmed as being of legal age, and would be delivered the unique drink for $10 per bottle. The business existed for a year, becoming very popular and very illegal. Because the business didn't really exist, they also lacked all appropriate permits, which led to them being shut down by New York State Liquor Authority. But the drink lived on. Soon after, DIY recipes to make the drink arrived on the web, which you can still find today to make at home, as long as you're old enough, of course. Number 3. Remember Pedo Bear? It's alright if you don't. The meme emerged a whole decade ago to mock pedophiles, and was one of the most recognizable internet memes of the time. So why do we mention it? Because Nestle didn't remember. When expanding their social media presence onto Instagram in mid-2012, Nestle's smart business decision immediately turned into a PR disaster, when their very first post featuring a bear playing the drums using large Kit Kat bars was immediately pointed out as bearing a striking resemblance to Pedo Bear. The post was deleted almost immediately, but many still caught sight of the embarrassing slip-up. Fortunately, some have noted that it was good that this was only a cheap social media post. Imagine the disaster if they had featured the same bear costume in a multi-million-dollar advertising campaign. Crisis averted, mostly. And continuing in the trend of corporate embarrassments, number 2. This time, the embarrassed company is Instagram itself. When Instagram first adopted photo stories in early 2017, many users were lightning fast in pointing out how the feature felt as though it was copied directly from Snapchat. And to their credit, Instagram's response hardly beat around the bush. VP of Product on Instagram openly admitted that Instagram copied stories from Snapchat, and went on to claim that good ideas in tech are meant to be shared. But even after this explanation, Instagram had the egg on their face for their heavy-handed attempt at imitation, even if stories are now a regular part of the Instagram experience. And at number 1, the embarrassment tops off, only this time, it's on the users themselves. We've all embarrassed ourselves at some point on the internet, but have you ever embarrassed yourself bad enough to get you and your parents in trouble with the law? Sounds extreme, but according to both prosecutors and cybersecurity experts, rich kids can't get enough of posting pictures of them in their parents' yachts and private jets, pictures which have wound up being used as evidence to expose ill-gotten gains from fraudulent activity. And it's not just rich kids who have messed up. None other than 50 Cent got in trouble for similar behavior when he posted an image of himself sitting in front of a stack of $100 bills that spelled out broke mere months after claiming bankruptcy, which he tried to excuse in court by saying the money was fake. And that's the list. Have any more facts you want to share with us? Let us know in the comments section. We love to hear from you. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, share with friends, and subscribe to Top Trending for more regular countdown videos such as this one.